Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your national television ORTM 1. This is the time of your English program of every Saturday and Sunday. We start this program by Mali news. First, top news. The IS ministers who were meeting in Bamako were received this week by the President of the Transition Army, General Assimi Goïta. They came to report on their meeting to implement the roadmap of the IS presidency. The flag of the Confederation was presented to President Goïta. The government's draft action plan for the period 2025-2026 was presented this week to the Cabinet Council at the Prime Minister's office. The special advisor to the President of the Transition, Agibou Dambélé, was this Tuesday in Fana in Douala for the handover of food kits distributed between the two towns. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ORTM News. The ministerial meeting of IS member states ended last week in Bamako. The meeting, which focused on the evaluation of the Confederation's roadmap and preparation for discussion on the separation from ECOWAS, was a resounding success, according to the press release issued at the end of the meeting. Detailed with Alfsen Touré and Binta Kamisoko.
The ministerial meeting took stock of the Confederation's roadmap, the objective being to continue the implementation of internal integration strategies and relations with other countries in the West African sub-region. The ministers examined the context and validated their common approaches in order to preserve in all circumstances the best interests of the populations of the AES Confederation and other populations of the sub-region linked by circular relations. To this end, the ministers recalled their commitment to begin the next exchanges with ECOWAS in the instructive spirit which has always characterized their will in accordance with the Pan-Africanist vision that animates the three heads of the state. The various delegations warmly thanked the Malian authorities and appended their signatures at the bottom of the final document of the meeting.
The ministers of the Confederation of Sahel States met Army General Assimi Goïta, President of the Transition. The IS ministers came to report on their meeting to implement the roadmap of the presidency of the Confederation of Sahel States. The flag of the Confederation was presented to President Goïta, Garibou Peru and Angel Dambélé for details.
The ministers of the Confederation of Sahel States were in charge of defense, security, cooperation, development. After their meeting devoted to the implementation of the way bill, the delegation came to report to transition presidents, also chairperson of the Confederation of Sahel States. At the evaluation, the ministers expressed satisfaction on the projects carried out, motivated towards progress and prosperity. The countries of the alliance want to move quickly, that is to say, to move forward without wasting time, preserving the superior unity of the peoples of the IS. Driven by the Pan-Africanist vision, the three heads of state of the association advocate a global pragmatic approach, encouraging ministers to step on the implementation of the projects identified in the way bill. During the audience, President Goïta handed the IS flag to the minister, the meaning of the common space unity. Rectangular with a green background with the IS logo in its center, this flag symbolizes both hope and prosperity. It means also rebirth and will be now invaded by the world.
The government's draft action plan for the period 2025-2026 was presented this week to the cabinet meeting at the Prime Minister's office. This document, which will serve as a compass for the government of Major General Ablaye Maiga, must be approved by the Council of Ministers before being submitted to the National Transitional Council for approval. Mamari Kone and Gasu Jara's report.
Prime Minister, in collaboration with ministerial departments, are making a plan and budget for 2025 to 2026. Last reshuffle cabinet, His Excellency General Assimi Goïta ordered each minister to focus on his main priorities. His main priorities are about defense and security, political and institutional reforms, the satisfaction of the fundamental needs for the people, good medical care, good educational system, political climate stability and elections organization. Prime Minister General Abdoulaye Maïga talked about 8 priorities. These 8 priorities have been defined by His Excellency General Assimi Goïta, Head of State, President of the Transition.
As part of its consultation, the drafting committee for the National Charter for Peace and National Reconciliation met with constitutional experts to discuss the draft charter for peace and reconciliation. At the request of the drafting committee, the wise men of the Constitutional Court raised a number of concerns, particularly with regard to the security and legal aspect. Alfsen Touré and Angèle Dambele for more details.
The wise men of the Constitutional Court gave their opinion on the report of the Charter for Peace and National Reconciliation at a time when our country has decided to internalize the peace and reconciliation process. For the elder of the Constitutional Court, peace does not only mean the absence of war, it is above all a state of mind. It covers a larger dimension. As for reconciliation, it is a process at the end of which each of us would recognize our mistakes in order to join a collective approach towards a common view. These two notions imply an education of the current and future generations. Other advisors raised concerns relating in particular to the presence or absence of the concepts of other words in the reports. In addition, according to them, the test should be in accordance with the evolution of our institutions by taking into account general terms instead of the names of provisional institutions. The Commission and its chairperson have provided answers to the concerns. For the chairperson of the committee in charge of reporting National Charter for Peace and Reconciliation, this approach is part of a desire for inclusiveness. As all the offices examined, the Constitutional Court has 72 hours to provide answers to the questions asked by the committee without forgetting to propose recommendations and comments if necessary.
As part of its consultation with the institution of the Republic, the drafting committee for the Charter for Peace and National Reconciliation, led by its chairman, former Prime Minister Ousmane Issefou Maïga, met with the government at the premature. The aim of today's meeting was to gather the government's contributions and concern with a view to enriching the document. Reports Mamari Kone and Gassou Diarra.
Prime Minister and the members of the government were with the Reconciliation and Peace Committee President after meeting civil society organizations, traditional authorities, political parties, media, trade unions, and some institutions of the Republic. Right now, the Reconciliation and Peace Committee President Issefou Maïga, former Prime Minister, came to talk to Prime Minister and the members of the government. President Issefou Maïga talked about many important decisions for the nation. Issefou Maïga and his delegations have been successfully welcomed by the Prime Minister, General Abdoulaye Maïga, and the members of the government. The Reconciliation and Peace Committee President presented the document on peace and reconciliation, and also he called them to make critiques, suggestions, and propositions. President Issefou Maïga spoke. I would like to pay your attention on something very important for our nation, and then I would like to talk about great decisions and aspirations for the people. It is not our responsibilities to make decisions for the nation. In this case, it is the responsibility for the government to make decisions for the nation. Anyway, we have come to see the government in order to make decisions for the nation. Right now, our main priority is to make life better for all Malians. Therefore, we want you to learn about the main priorities and aspirations of the people. The Constitutional Court agrees with the document, and also the National Transition Council agrees with the document. It is necessary to make political stability a reality. Nevertheless, responsibilities have been taken to make political stability a reality. We need to get back to constitutional order. We should guarantee a budget for any political party. We must set free all political prisoners inside or outside. We should accept all political leaders for their participations in the reconciliation and peace process. Finally, we have to safeguard press freedom and speech freedom. Prime Minister General Abdoulaye Maïga spoke. His Excellency General Assimi Goïta would like to make reconciliation and peace a reality in our country. It is one of his main priorities. I want to thank His Excellency General Assimi Goïta for his leadership, and also I want to thank everybody.
The special advisor to the President of the Transition was in Fana and Douala on Tuesday to hand over 300 food kits distributed between the two terms. This gift from the head of state through his social works aims to ease the burden of beneficiaries during the coming month of Ramadan. Detail from Kumba Sise and Binta Kamsuko.
Reduce expenses for the month of Ramadan, which is coming soon, where the series of food handovers for those in need makes sense. Inside the country, the town of Douala and Fala each benefited from 150 food kits consisting of rice, sugar, macaroni, and oil. This presidential gesture, which affects the underprivileged, is part of the social works of the President of the Transition. Due to the flooding that the country has suffered, we know that there are many requests for food. However, not all the victims will be able to benefit from it. The residents of Fana and Douala thanked the President of the Transition for his response to some of their complaints through, for example, the provision of motorcycles to people with disabilities.
The first IS International Festival of Gastronomy and Cultural Identity, FIGIC IS, opened this Tuesday in Ouagadougou. The event is being held from 25 to 28 February 2025 alongside FESPACO under the theme Gastronomy and Tradition, a vector for cohesion and sustainable development in the IS region. Mali is very well represented at the event, say Bemba Sibi and Mohamed COULIBALY.
The Unity of Sahel Peoples for Gastronomy. This is one of the initiators' objectives about the International Festival of Gastronomy and Cultural Identity of IS, FIGIC IS, which has just opened its doors in Ouagadougou, an event that aims above all to promote culinary traditions in the Sahelian space. The event put highlight chiefs, restaurants, and the entire value chain from the field to the kitchen. The FIGIC IS is designed to be one of the vectors of integration of unity of the Sahel peoples. According to the Minister of Culture of Burkina Faso, through the culinary arts, we tell our stories, we transmit our value and affirm our place in the concern of nations. After the official speeches, it was time for the cutting of the ribbon of the exhibition, the visit of the stands, and especially the testing of the hands of the Sahel states were the second highlight of this launch.
The Minister of Industry and Trade presided over the closing ceremony of the second edition of Malian Brands Week. 20 or so took part in the year's event with the aim of encouraging them to become more involved in their day-to-day activities. This year, the theme of the week is to make local brands a pillar of indigenous development. Report Yusuf Jagte and Binta Kamsugo.
The closing of the Brands Week was a significant event, highlighting the importance of local brands as pillars of indigenous development. During the second edition, the members of the jury awarded prizes and trophies to the various brands that participated, following a voting competition which mobilized the community throughout the week. Among the 8 categories, each winner was recognized for their innovation and commitment to local development. The Young Entrepreneurs category saw the ISO brand win a prize of 1 million francs CFA, testifying to the creativity of young people in the sector. In the Women's Brand category, Fasokaba also received a prize of 1 million francs CFA, highlighting the crucial role of women in entrepreneurship. Other brands were also honored. Sutura won the ecological category with a reward of 500,000 francs CFA, while Balimaya Couture was recognized in the artisanal category. Vitable was crowned Best Product Brand, and BNDA received the award in the Services category. Finally, Ashura was praised for its international influence. This event not only celebrated local excellence, but also reinforced the idea that supporting local brands is essential for sustainable and inclusive economic development.
Dear viewer of ORTM 1, we are at the end of Mali News, but stay with us for the guest of the week. My guest today is a young student. His name is Sori Ibrahim El Bakone. Welcome, Sori.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for coming in the city of ORTM 1. So my first question is to know what is your motivation to create an English club in the university you are studying?
Thank you. So first of all, it's an honor to be here. Mm-hmm. Thank you. I appreciate to be on this TV show. Yeah. So my motivation is the following. Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, in our society in Mali, mm-hmm. we can make 10 years and maybe 15 years mm-hmm. in schools, but students, they can even start a conversation in English.
Yes.
You understand? So that is actually my problem. That is actually the problem I want to solve.
Yeah.
That's why I decided to create an English club mm-hmm. for all Malian, mm-hmm. for students, for high school and middle school.
Okay.
Yes.
That's good. So could you explain the impact of the club in the learning English?
Yes, the impact is the following. It's basically on 3 points. Mm-hmm. First of all, that permit to them to improve their skills in English mm-hmm. by innovative method.
Yeah.
I will do it myself, like listening complete.
Yeah.
And the secondly is to build self-confidence.
Yes.
In Mali, a student have project, but they don't have a confidence to do it, just to expose to the world. In my club, I will give them confidence to do that.
Okay.
And third, this is a leadership. We're gonna improve their skills in leadership. I'm gonna tell them be a leader, not in followers.
Yeah,
yes,
that's a good thing. So, what can be the importance of English in your daily life?
The importance is the following. I can discuss with great personality, and I can travel. And I also play basketball, that's permit to me to understand this coach the game system.
Okay.
So like
that's good. So how many students will you join you in your English club? You have an idea?
But there is no restriction.
Yeah.
Everyone can get in. Everyone. It's not only for students. It's for high school and middle school. It's for person who love English also.
Okay.
Yes.
So where will be located your English club? The seat of your English club?
My English club is located at Nyamana. If you want to join it, you just have to call me.
Okay.
I will leave my name over here.
Okay.
My number also.
No problem. So do you have some suggestion for your colleague student to learn English?
Not only for students, but for all Malian. If you are ambitious and you want to go towards in your life and you want to accomplish a great things in your life, you gotta speak English.
Okay.
English is the key to success. English will permit you to do everything you want. English will permit you to go everywhere around the world.
Yes.
Yes. That's all.
Thank you very much, Suri,
Thank you
to come in our studio.
Yes.
I hope next time we'll be together to speak about another thing.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, after the guest of a week, we are at the end. We'll be together next Saturday, same time, same channel. May God bless Mali. Goodbye.